Hey, what's up, guys? Outcast Anime coming at you again. As you can see, there are a few changes since after Christmas. Some stuff I got. Mainly was this poster, this nice JoJo poster, because I do enjoy JoJo. I also got these lights up here. Camera tracking's weird. These lights, they do go turn on, but it seems to mess up with my camera. Kind of get this bright light in the background that I'd rather just not have in my videos right now. Maybe I'll turn them on eventually and you can see them, but that's after I get my camera fixed. Not fixed, but better adapted to dealing with external light. That being said, going back into the video that we're talking about today, being what if Ace and Luffy left their village together. And on the last part, we discussed pretty much the start of like their beginning of their journey when they met Kobe and Zoro and them. And we're picking up right where they left off. They were on the ship, and they were leaving. It's the three of them, and they were deciding, okay, where do we want to go? And they all kind of realized Zoro has crap navigation skills, Luffy has crap navigation skills, and Ace is said to be a bit more intelligent and a bit more like thoughtful than Luffy is. So he, not thoughtful is not a bad way to say it. More intelligent and more reasonable than Luffy is, so that kind of says he might be a little bit better navigator, but I don't think he's going to be like as good as other people are. That's what they're doing, and I kind of see them going to the same thing as Ace is also really impulsive, like his brother is. So I think I'm going down the similar line of how they met Nami. They see the bird, and they're like, oh, let's follow the bird. The bird gets shot down, and Luffy like jumps up to get the bird, and then he lands in I forget the name of the village that Buggy's at when the first time they meet him, but Buggy and Nami. That kind of goes as normal. Like Luffy pretty much just knocks out the three of them because they knock his hat off. He grabs them. But some different changes here is now that Ace is like on the ship with Zoro, they're like, oh crap, we need to get back to Luffy. So they are going to like immediately start going to Luffy, which I think will be a bit faster because at the time there is a sail, but I think they can row as well. So I could definitely see them like sailing to the village, and Ace and Zoro both getting there really quickly. So in this scenario, we'll come back to when they actually finally meet up with him. But going back with Luffy and Nami, of course, Luffy finds out Nami's a good navigator, and he asks to like, hey, join my crew. She says no. She's like pirates. She says, okay, well, help me defeat Buggy, and then I'll consider joining your crew. He says yes. They go to Buggy. Buggy immediately cages Luffy up, and that happens. So that, with that being said, also if you hear that noise in the background, that's cars. I have cars go up down my street constantly. So if you hear those, that's what that is. But sorry, kind of left my focus down a little bit. Give me a second. Yeah, so Zoro and Ace pretty much show up a bit sooner than Zoro did normally. They show up, they meet the buggy pirates, and just like they pretty much just like, cool, let's beat the crap out of the buggy. But they start destroying the buggy pirates. And I see this going a bit differently. Like I really see Moji and Richie stepping out, and I don't remember the clown guy's name, who's on the YouTube who fights Zoro. I don't remember who that is, but who his name is. But I think they show up too, and pretty much it goes. Ace looks at the giant lion, punches it in the mouth. That goes down. He looks at Moji, punches him in the mouth. He goes down. And Zoro beat the clown guy when he was injured pretty quickly, so I see him just kind of defeating him extremely fast. He just kind of draws all three swords, onigiri, and that's it. He kind of just defeats him immediately. Yeah, this is going to go pretty quickly because of that. The buggy pirates are kind of trash, and you could say like, "Oh yeah, what about the buggy balls?" I'm sorry, it's not much of a threat because Ace and Zoro are plenty fast enough to just run up and take out those trying to fire it or dodge it trying to fire. Yeah, sure, they might be like, oh crap, that could hurt. But like, it's not gonna take them very long to defeat everybody. They defeat everybody. So it's just Buggy versus Ace and Zoro. Zoro tries to cut Buggy up. He fails because he needs a chop fruit, and I see him still getting stabbed. I do see him still getting stabbed by a buggy. He gets stabbed. It hurts. He falls over. So then it's Ace versus Buggy, and I think Ace is still using the pipe. I think he's using the pipe still. So I see him facing off with Buggy, and then like while Nami gets the key and unlocks Luffy pretty quickly. I know I'm rushing through this pretty fast, but it's because it's easy. Like and Nami frees Luffy because they don't ever have to like Zoro doesn't drag him away or Zoro only drags Luffy away from the group because he's like if I have to drag you away and Nami can't fight. In this scenario, Ace is there, so Ace can fight while Zoro either unlocks him or Nami unlocks the cage for Luffy, and they unlock Luffy. Luffy gets out. Luffy and Ace, or just Luffy, beat the crap out of Buggy. And I would say they don't actually like knock him, like do the whole thing with it, they make him like really tiny. I see that they kind of tie him up a little bit, and they don't like bazooka him off. He just kind of like they just beat the crap out of him, knock him out, and then leave him there. Maybe they put him like on the ship, and maybe they're like, "Hey, get out of here," And the Buggy Pirates pick him up and they leave, and that happens. That's kind of how I see that going. I don't see them knocking him out of off into nowhere. I kind of more just see, oh, man, I'm like Ace. I have narcolepsy, but that will kick in later. I haven't covered it yet, but Ace is still very much a narcolept. So they defeat him, get his treasure, and the villagers never show up, so they take the treasure with them, I assume, because I think Ace will also be like, I want the treasure myself, like I want the treasure and for the group. Take one of the ship because now at this point they definitely need like two ships because the ship they were using earlier is way too small, like for the four of them. So I would see it's Zoro and Nami on one ship and then Ace and Luffy on the other, so they're staying side by side as we saw in the normal, or she's on one ship and the other two on the other ship. But yeah, so I think they would do pretty much that, and then they would go meet Swamp Village, which is gonna be a bit more complicated. Not a bit more complicated. Mainly these I say small. These beginning arcs are kind of really easily negated because Ace is there, and you have a really strong person with them to help fight. And I'm not saying like Ace is really powerful. He's pretty strong, but it's like now that they have an extra person fighting there, it makes it a bit easier. They go to Sword Village, and they meet Usopp. And Usopp's like, I have 80 million men, and like Ace is like, bring it on, let's go. Luffy's like, you're obviously lying. Zoro knows you're lying. They all know you're lying, so he's like, ah, crap, I'm lying. They caught me lying. They go to Sword Village. They talk. They say we need a bigger ship, especially since there's four of them already. Usopp says you get ask Kaya. They go to meet Kaya. They meet Clawhador. And this is gonna be something that's a little interesting, okay? When Clawhador insults Usopp, famous son of a pirate, Ace gets mad, like mad. Because again, remember, Ace is also the son of a pirate, the most famous pirate, Goldie Roger. So I could see him getting like really mad and getting up in Clawhador's face, like, "Oh, what's wrong with being the son of a pirate, huh? What's wrong with that?" And then he kind of like reels it back in because he realizes like, "Oh, I can't let anyone know that I'm the son of Roger. I can't let anyone know." But he does have that flare up. As we know, is a bit impulsive. He's impulsive and he can lack reason sometimes, as we saw in the series with Blackbeard and other things. So I think he would snap back, and I think it's Luffy that actually catches him, and he's like, "Hey, you need to calm down, Ace." Clawhador sends them away. So they're sitting there, and I think Ace would just be at the bar. Well, I say bar, but like the bar slash cafe with Zoro and Nami, where Usopp and Luffy are at the cliffs and they're watching. They find out, and that kind of goes similar to normal. Like Luffy shouts, "Hey, we heard you!" Django hypnotizes him. He falls over unconscious. They wake him back up in a minute. They get told, and when they gets told, Ace is like ready to go. Ace is like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's beat up this smug punk kind of thing." And so I also think like Ace would have some knowledge on who Claudio is because Ace kind of seems the more studious of the two. That he would kind of like look into other pirates and know what he's looking for. So I think he would know. Oh, so I think he would know like who Clawhador is. Like after being told, like, oh yeah, he's a pirate and he's the little. I think he would know. It's like, oh yeah, he's the Kuro of 1,000 Plans. It was 1,000 or 100. I think it was 1,000, but I could be wrong. It could have been 100. But Kuro of 100 plans or 1,000 plans, and it's like he's known for being like really wicked fast, Luffy. So we need to be careful of that. And so but now since they have more people here in this kind of scenario, they don't have to all be at like one point. I think it's a thing like you'd have Luffy, Zoro, no, not Luffy, Zoro, Usopp, and Nami on one side of the island, probably like the south, and then you have Ace and Luffy. I know I'm putting them together a lot because they're brothers. They trust each other more than anyone else. Like, yeah, Luffy trusts his Nakama, but it's like this is like literally my family, like my blood brother, sworn brother. So I have to trust him a bit more. So it's them two on the north end, and as we know, Kuro and them attack on the north end. So when they attack, there's no need for them to like run over and stop them. They're already there. Like they're already there waiting. So it's Ace and Luffy. Yeah, Ace and I don't know why I don't know why I messed there. Ace and Luffy looking at Kuro and well, Kuro's not there. Kuro's not there yet, but it's Django and all them. It goes similar to normal because I would say like Ace is like around the same strength like that Zoro, and this is injured Zoro, but around like normal Zoro and Luffy is. Like to me, I see Zoro and Luffy being pretty much just like neck and neck in strength, but it's just that Luffy has Devil Fruit, and that's what makes him just a bit stronger. As I talked about in part one, that they had that fight to who became the captain. So Ace is trying to get strong because he's like, I want to like be as strong as or stronger than Luffy. So they're going at that. So I kind of see them just kind of doing what Ace and Luffy, Ace, Ace, well, Zoro and Luffy did, beating up all the Kuro pirates. Pretty much just take out Zoro and put Ace in that scenario. Then Django does the whole like hypnotism and make him all stronger. Luffy gets stronger. He runs in, beats the crap out of all of them again, rips the figurehead of the mast off. He gets put to sleep. So now it's just Ace that's standing there. But then at that point, like with Ace just standing there, then like Zoro shows up, Usopp shows up, Nami shows up. Well, I think Nami will show up last, and then like it's like Zoro shows up within a few minutes, Usopp shows up within a few minutes, Nami shows up. So Zoro's a little tired, but the two I forget their names, but the fat pirate and the other pirate guy, they come out like the third and fourth strongest on the crew. And then with them like with Luffy being out of it, it's pretty much it's 1-on-1 instead of Zoro having to fight like both of them by himself. It's Ace and Zoro fighting them together. And as I say, I don't see it going very far because I think Ace is what would recognize like, oh, Django's gonna make them stronger. He either throws the pipe or just picks up a fucking rock and just throws it at him. And I don't see Django like tanking it's like Django seems very Glass Kennedy to me. Like he's got like his his hypnotism. That's all he's got though. He doesn't have anything else. So I think like Ace would take him out pretty quickly, and he could probably like, take him out so he prevent them from trying to get them stronger. Zoro takes his out. Ace takes his out. Finally, Kuro steps out. Usopp tries to attack him. Kuro dodges. And so he's like, okay, really, like five people have stopped my entire crew. This is BS. No, I'm going to stop this now. He puts on his gauntlets, and they're going to go at it. They're going to go try. So they're going to go at it. So at this point, like Zoro's probably like a little messed up from the fight with the cat dudes. I say the cat dudes, but like the fat cat guy and the other cat guy. I'll put their names on screen like in editing. But yeah, so it's pretty much Ace versus Kuro. And unfortunately for Ace, this is where I see him. I don't think Ace could beat Kuro like this mainly because like Luffy had the advantage of being able to stretch and get a lot of range on Kuro. Ace doesn't have that, so I feel like Ace would put up a good fight. He would. He'd definitely be blocking, fighting just well with his pipe. But eventually, I see Kuro either slicing through the pipe or just kind of nicking and cutting all over Ace's body, and Ace would eventually fall. I definitely think Ace would push him into using the Shishi form, the thing where he the with the weak Sora, where he like dashes around and is cutting indiscriminately. I could see him doing that, and that's where like Ace falls to that point because he's like he can't like get cut and then grab Kuro like Luffy could. So what I see happening is at that point, then Ace wakes up and Luffy wakes up and he sees what's going on with Kuro and everything. He sees Ace on the ground, he sees Zoro on the ground, and he just gets absolutely livid. Like he is furious. He runs in and Kuro's caught off guard because at this point Kuro's never because Kuro had a decent look of what Luffy was capable of like before he came out, and this scenario he really doesn't. So he would not know that Luffy has a devil fruit. He would not know that Luffy can do the things he can do. So I see the fight going very quickly in Luffy's favor. He tries to like run up and attack Luffy, and Luffy just like stretches out of the way, or like blocks his sword with the bow. I would say Ace probably broke one of his gauntlets, probably like how Luffy did with the Rock. I could see him either like kind of like doing that, then like he locks underneath his arm and breaks all the blades that way, or he just dodges out of the way and gets like the thing cut in the rock and it breaks off that way. Either way, it could work. So it's kind of similar to he's doing Shikshi form. Luffy, like Luffy does come what he did in canon. He just dodges, gets cut up a little bit, grabs him, and then headbutts him really hard, and that's kind of the end of Kuro right there. A little bit of a change since Luffy isn't as messed up from fighting Kuro and everyone else. He doesn't pass out. He's okay. He walks over to to Ace and he's like, Ace, are you okay? And Ace kind of stirs and he's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. I just think I was really fast. He's like, yeah, I know. He was pretty fast. He gets Zoro. Zoro is like, Zoro, are you okay? He's like, man, I'm okay. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And so they pretty much, similar thing. Kaya says, I'll give you a ship. They got the going merry. They're happy to have it. And Ace is like ecstatic. He's like, yeah, I finally got me a ship. Ace got a ship. Luffy got the ship. They're all happy. Of course, Usopp steps down to go on his journey. And I think Ace is the one just like he just looks at him, the kind of those like half lidded eyes, grabs him and just throws him on the man and says, "Let's go, we're leaving." It's like you're joining us, whether you because I also think like Luffy's gonna be a bit, Ace is gonna be a bit more like stern about like who's joining and who's not. Like he's gonna grab Usopp and just throw him over the thing and just be like you're going, let's go, you know. So that being said, guys, we're at 18 minutes here, and that was a good video, and we covered two-ish arcs. And the next part we'll cover the Baratie, which I think will be very interesting, and then we'll go on from there. Part 3, guys. But that'll be all from me, guys. I'm Outcast and I'll see you later, my fellow Outcasts.